Alright, what's up? Arts here, and welcome to a new Black Ops 3 video. Now today we're going to take a look at the top 5 best weapons in Black Ops 3, of course after the 1.09 patch. That dropped, I want to say, about 2 weeks or so ago. Not entirely sure about that. I haven't been on top of all the huge patches and things like that. But basically, this was a pretty significant patch. A lot of guns were buffed, a lot of guns were nerfed. Now, of course, before we jump into this, keep in mind the Kuda, the VMP, and the Man-O-War are probably still the best guns in this game. However, I wanted to cover some weapons that are kind of like underdogs, weapons that not a lot of people use. However, they are really deadly and should definitely be given a shot. Now, of course, with that being said, if you don't agree with my list, then definitely share your list in the comments down below. And apart from that, let's get to it. Now, for starters, we of course have the Razorback. The Razorback was actually everyone's favorite gun during the Black Ops 3 beta. Back then, this thing was super powerful. However, when the game first launched, this thing just wasn't very compatible in a lot of different situations. Yes, it was still pretty accurate, but it simply didn't deal enough damage. However, they changed a few things about it. For starters, they removed the speed reduction while firing, which is of course essential if you wish to rush around with any SMG in this game. So that's of course a pretty good thing. However, the biggest change is this one. They increased the 4-hit kill range. Now, for those who don't know, the 4-hit kill range on SMGs is basically where SMGs and assault rifles collide. The Razorback, as it stands right now, has got the highest range out of every single SMG in the game, and of course also the least recoil. So obviously, this gun of course also works pretty well at medium to long range. Now keep one thing in mind, whenever you use this weapon, make sure you use rapid fire. That basically makes this one a bit more deadly at close range. And apart from that, you should be good to go at every single range with this weapon. Anyway, so next up we have my favorite SMG, and that's of course the Weevil. For starters, just like with the Razorback, they removed the speed reduction while firing, which obviously makes this gun a little bit more deadly when you want to rush around. Next up, they increased the ADS speed, which basically makes this gun more deadly at close range, because obviously you could snap on target a little bit faster. Next up, they increased the sprint recovery speed, which is essentially what Fast Hands does in Black Ops 3. But of course, in this case, you don't need the perk in order to get the same effect, so that's pretty good. Once again, makes this gun more deadly at close range. And then finally, they increased the 5-hit kill range. Now, personally, I don't think this is going to help you. By the time it actually takes 5 bullets to kill an opponent with this weapon, I would definitely recommend you to get the heck out of that situation, because you shouldn't challenge people at long range with the Weevil. It simply doesn't work out in most situations. Now, whenever you use the Weevil, I would recommend you to go Quick Draw, go with the grip, and of course Fast Hands. And in that case, you've got yourself a close range killer. Be sure to give it a go. Anyway, so next up we have an assault rifle, and that's actually the HVK-30. Now, I think that the HVK-30 has been an underdog ever since the start of Black Ops 3. This thing has been really good since the start. It kind of reminds me of the Type 25 from Black Ops 2. Don't know how many of you actually played that game. But basically, this thing, just like the Razorback, is pretty much a hybrid between an assault rifle and an SMG. Yes, it does have a bit of recoil. Yes, it doesn't deal too much damage. However, the fire rate is crazy for an assault rifle, making this one extremely deadly at medium range, but also at close range. Anyway, so the changes are pretty simple. First off, they increase the sprint recovery speed just like with the Weevil. Makes this gun a bit more deadly at close range. Next up, they increase the aim stability, which is very useful at medium to long range. And then apart from that, they also increase the recoil stability, once again making this gun better at medium to long range. Now, essentially, this gun has been good at close to medium range ever since the start of Black Ops 3, but right now it's also a lot better at long range. In fact, in a lot of situations, you won't need the grip, which simply gives you one more point to spend on something like a perk, a lethal, a tactical, whatever it might be, so that's of course pretty useful. Now, if you decide to use this gun, I would definitely recommend you to stick to close to medium range engagements, but also make sure you use a setup that works well at close range. So go with something like the Quick Draw grip, the stock, and of course also Fast Hands. And then apart from that, you should be good to go. Anyway, so next up we have another underdog, and that's of course the Dingo. The Dingo, once again, just like the HVK, has been a beast since the launch of Black Ops 3. And right now, it's even better. They for starters increased the tightness and bullet spread whilst aiming down the sights. This was probably the biggest downside about the Dingo. Sometimes it seemed like your bullets weren't actually traveling straight, which is a big issue at long range. Not so much at close to medium range, but at long range this thing definitely struggled to compete. But since they updated that, this thing has been even more deadly than it was before. And then apart from that, they also increased the hipfire accuracy. Now, for those who don't know, the Dingo is actually the LMG with the highest fire rate in this game, making it pretty deadly at close to medium range as it is. However, in a lot of close quarter situations, all you have to do is spray and pray, and in a lot of situations, you'll get out of there alive, which is of course really great. And of course, if you decide to combine that with, let's say, the laser sight, this thing becomes a close range killer, just like the HVK. Give it a go if you haven't already. And then finally, we have the Argus. Now, this might be a bit of an unorthodox one, but basically what they changed about the Argus is they increased the one-hit kill range potential when hip firing. The biggest downside about the Argus is that you basically had to aim down the sights, even at close range, because otherwise you were bound to get a hit marker. which is of course not the way to go if you wish to run around with a shotgun. Or this patch allows you to basically fire from the hip at point blank range, and apart from that, just like before, you're simply going to have to zoom in. But if you decide to combine both quick draw and fast hands, that of course won't be an issue even if you're running around constantly. Because at the end of the day, you can hit your opponent anywhere. You can hit them in the chest, you can hit them in their leg, their arm. In all cases, they'll drop dead straight away. And with that being said, let me know in the comments down below what you think of this list. Like I said before, if you don't agree with it, then simply share your top 5 in the comments down below. But try to stay away from the weapons that are commonly used, so the Kuda, the VMP, the KN-44, the Man of War, you name it. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, some support, a like rating would be very much appreciated. If not, that's cool. Now, if you're looking for a solid class setup for any of these weapons, then simply check out my channel. I'm pretty sure that at this point in time, I've covered most of the weapons in Black Ops 3, so you should be good to go. And apart from that, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for the continued support, and I will catch you in the next one. Take it easy.